Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-100. It's a Tier 6 Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Steppes under the command of Rusty. Oh no, it's actually SirrusX. Well, we know it's Rusty anyway. SirrusX is armed with a 122mm gun, which is the main gun, the top gun. He's capable of doing 390 alpha and penetrating 175mm with standard rounds. In fact, it's the second highest damage for a TD at this level, the other one being the box tank. Okay, now so this vehicle is a development of the T-34. In fact, it developed on from the SU-85, which was originally built on the T-34 chassis, but armed with an 85mm gun. Now, originally, the SU-100 was armed with a 100mm gun, but later on they did start fitting the 122mm, and that's when it became really effective. Well, one blind shot in. I think he's trying to hit... There is a tank over there, I think, on the up on the hill, but for the moment, the only one he knows about is the AMX 12-ton, who's quite happily hiding behind at the moment. Firing blind, but he's just firing on the basis that he might be coming out, popping out. In fact, he has taken damage, serious damage, so he might have actually got a blind shot in there. Somebody might have, and he's gone. Okay, so he's out the game. Okay, looking for those tanks up on the hill. Now, you don't get a whole lot of ammunition in this tank destroyer, so you do have to be careful. You've only got 36 rounds of ammunition with the 152, so you can't blast away. You have to pick targets which you know can hit, and if you can hit them, then it's great. It doesn't have great armor. It's auto-aiming on. Probably would have been better if he'd manually aimed that one. Now, the other thing about this tank destroyer, it doesn't have great armor. Now, it's an SU-152 up there, which is the next step up. It's the Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer. This is a Tier 8 game with Tier 6 tanks in it, so he's bottom tier, and that means he's got a chance to earn extra XP for all the higher tier tanks that he hits. Now, I have a good feeling that SU-152 is probably hiding behind those bushes at the moment, having a good look. Now, if the sixth sense goes off, he was spotted, and it doesn't look as if the SU-152 was looking at that occasion. Here he comes. Now, the place to aim for, well, he does get an auto-aim shot there, but the shot to aim for is actually just to the right of the main gun on the SU-152, because that's where the weak armor is, the viewports and everything. He's going to go through manually aimed. Yes, gets it the second time. He was spotted though, so he needs to get behind that rock just in case somebody's looking, and there was somebody looking. It was a Wizzy 111 1FT, and he just got struck for 457 hit points. So that was expensive. He should have just gone straight in behind the rock, and then he would have been safe. Yeah, sometimes it pays not to actually be in the open. Okay, so he's actually pulling back because he's badly damaged now. Only got a third of his hit points left. You can see the pretty big hole there, right through one side. Looks like it came out the other side as well. Yes, he's taking a much more defensive position above the cap area. Now, the standard reload for this this tank destroyer is 12.27 seconds, and he's got a reload of 10.33. Now, he can, from here, on this heights, spot an M4A3E8. In fact, he might be able to spot several enemy tanks as they're moving up, but obviously he's using his teammates to tell him where they are. Because the view range on this tank destroyer is very, very poor indeed. It's only 350 meters. It's almost as blind as a bat, you might say. Yeah, he's guessing there might be somebody up there. Well, we'll never know until the end of the game if he did hit something. You can see he's actually being careful only to fire the AP at the blind targets, not to waste his premium rounds. He might need those later on. The team seems to be doing fairly well though, because they're 5 up on the enemy. Fires another one at the hill, hoping that he'll hit something up there. It's a pretty good guess that there is somebody up there. Of course, the thing with tank destroyers is to be as patient as you can, because it might take some while for the enemy targets to come into sight. At the moment we can see that the enemy tank on the east side of the map is in that little dip, and I know he's firing up at the hill hoping there's somebody up there, but the nearest tank to him is one that's, well, round the corner and in the dip, so we can't really get a shot on him. And Sirius has now decided he's going to change and go active. That Wizzy 111, the one that hit him, is actually on the move, and there you go, you can see him now. He's popped up on the view range, so we might get a sight of him and we can pay him back. There he is. Okay, he's auto aimed on. Hit him in the tracks. Maybe he should have aimed that one manually. Okay, he's gonna have to pull forward to get the next shots. Can't see the target, but he can aim using the mini map. I'm pretty certain that Wizzy can't see him at the moment though, so he is unspotted. Best not to give him a side shot into your side. That's it. Straight on to the enemy. The other bad thing about the SU-100 is the ammo cost. It's actually fairly expensive. It also has a very weak ammo rack. It tracks very easily, and it's fairly sluggish on the acceleration. In fact, actually, amongst the Soviets, the SU-100 had a name or a nickname. They called it Pizdets Simu, and what that means is it was the end to effing anything. It was a rude way of saying it, but it was saying anything that went for that 100mm gun was going to get absolutely annihilated. He doesn't have much in gun progression, only 6 degrees. 34 and 5, where there's only 3 enemies left, and there's that Wizzy. Yes, he's manually aiming now, which is much more preferable. Okay, I think we can move up now rapidly. He's trying to mask his approach using these bushes. Get another shot at that Wizzy. And now we've got a T-44-100 as well. Now the Wizzy's just over that rise, so he needs to get a bit closer to get a shot there. Can't get a shot at the T-44-100, but he won't need to now really, because the guy's down to 32 hit points. He's a one-shot. Just don't want to get spotted by that T-44 if we can help it. Okay, should be able to get a shot. No, he can't still get a shot. The Wizzy is just over the rise, so he needs to get much closer to get shots on him, but our teammates are all around those guys now. The T-44-100 has gone down. He needs to get closer. Okay. Where is he? There he is. Missed the chance there, but he might get another one. Here he goes. He auto-aims on. Now, did he get spotted? No, he didn't, so he can give it another go. He's almost reloaded. Oh, he's not going to get a chance now. Or is he? Yeah, he will. And he gets the kill shot on the guy who hit him and took most of his hit points. Now, I should actually point out, I didn't at the start of the game, this is SirrusX's first game in this vehicle. He hasn't played it before, but he's playing it very well. He just needs to learn that he shouldn't be out in the open after taking a shot when he was spotted, because of course there's a good chance the enemy might be watching and ready to put a round into him. Okay, Basotto's up on that rise. He's hiding behind the rock. Now, we're acting as guard because the other guys can move up, force the guy into a position where he has to expose himself, then we can get a shot into him. If he does move out from behind that rock, our job is to plug him quick. Okay, they're going to force him out. Here it goes. One's going out one side. He's making a rush for it. Oh, he wasn't quite ready. In fact, he's auto-aimed on, and the Basotto managed to get away without actually... and now it's 2 versus 1. But he does get a big hit into the guy's rear, pulls back. You were spotted, but he can get another shot off. Potentially take this guy out and win the game. Now, let it settle. Oh, we hit the armor. Now, stay behind the rock. Don't auto-aim, just manually aim at the vehicle. Oh, and he gets the kill shot that wins the game. Not bad for a first game in this tank destroyer. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for SirrusX in the SU-100. You can tell it's his first-class tanker because he's got the scrolls underneath, and you only get that the first time. He got a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 6, and his win rate was 6,162, which is very good for a first attempt in the vehicle. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that went to the Wizzy 111-1 FT, the guy who hit him. He got a high caliber patrol duty for 3,992 hit points. Second highest damage was the Basotto that he killed right at the end of the game. 2,682 went to that guy. And in third place was the SU-152 on his own team with 2,463. We can see that SirrusX actually came in fourth place overall on damage. 2,418 hit points of damage there. When it came to kills, it was the Type 64 did the best with, got an All-X medal, and alongside him was the Basotto. They both had 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to SirrusX and also to the Wizzy 111-1 FT and one of the Japanese tank destroyers. And when it came to base XP, he's in second place. The highest scorer being the Type 64 managed 1,097 and SirrusX managed 1,064. And they were the only players who managed to get over 1,000 in the game. 22 shots fired, 10 direct hits, 8 penetrations. So you can see a lot of those blind shots weren't actually hitting anything, unfortunately. But he took the chance that it might actually do some damage. So he fired them in anyway, because there's always the chance that there might be somebody there and you might get an easy hit. You got 10 direct hits, 8 penetrations. I mentioned that. 2,418 hit points of damage, of which 830 were up more than 300 meters. 1 hit received was a penetration. That was from the Wizzy 111, and it was quite a big hit at that. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and he did 95,413 credits profit from a premium account and 4,788 experience points as well. So congratulations, that's quite good for a first game. Few mistakes you made about, when you should have hugged that rock after shooting to go unspotted again after hitting the SU-152, because the thing is there was bound to be somebody looking, and there was. At that particular moment, he lost a huge amount of hit points really for no reason. The other thing is to be careful, because if you have a tank destroyer like this with very few rounds, only 35 rounds, you have to be careful that you don't blast away all your ammunition before you actually need it. And it did go down to the wire, this one, with the Basotto. again, you weren't really completely ready for that Psotto when he came out of that behind that rock, and we knew he was going to make a dash for it to try and get away. But I can honestly say I probably would have got that wrong as well, because the Psotto came out very quickly to try and get away from that rock. And so, yes, it was a difficult one, that to know exactly when to fire. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.